Hey, this is Ian Westerman, head pro at EssentialTennis.com, where it's my mission to bring passionate instruction to passionate tennis players just like you. Welcome to episode number 30 of Ask Ian, and I'd also like to just really briefly welcome you to the new Essential Tennis headquarters. We just moved to new offices, and we have, for the first time, kind of some regular office space here, and then we have studio space just outside the door here, which eventually you'll definitely see, but right now it's pretty, you don't want to see it right now. But we're really excited to be here. Really just yesterday started moving in. So yeah, thanks for your ongoing support. James and I really appreciate it very much. Today's question comes to us from Sandru. My apologies if I'm not pronouncing that correctly, Sandru. But he wrote and said, what is Federer looking at when he hits the ball? I mean, what part of the racket at the back is he looking at? How does he tilt his head? Is his arm straight? What technique does he use to keep his head still? And how far away from his body does his arm extend? Okay, Sandru, in case you're not familiar, he's talking about Roger Federer making contact with a forehand or backhand ground stroke. And Roger has a particular habit or skill of tilting his head and watching the ball, or at least this is what he appears to be doing, watching the ball hit the racket from behind. So if you can imagine the racket face and the ball coming in and making contact with the strings, he'll tilt his head and it appears that he's looking at the ball from the back of the racket hit the strings, which is pretty incredible. And I get a lot of questions about how to copy that. And Sandru, my kind of biggest point that I need to get across to you is this is a great example, this is a perfect example of a technique element that is not essential. It's not a foundational thing that all players have in common. If you take the top 10 tennis players in the world and study what they do at contact, you won't see them all do that. In fact, to be totally honest with you, I'm not aware of any other player that does it like that. You may see some other players tilt their head and kind of get a little bit of view of the back of the racket face as contact is made. But other players, you'll see them make contact and their eyes are like looking off someplace completely different. They're not even looking as the ball makes contact with the strings, which happens in 2 to 3 milliseconds, thousandths of a second. And it's something that the human eye can't even pick up what's happening at contact. So really trying to see contact is really irrelevant. The fundamental issue here is keeping the head still and maintaining focus on contact. Those are fundamentals and things that all players of all levels should be trying to do a good job of. But when I take issue with a lot of people who watch a lot of videos online is when they start picking out individual little technique or technical details like this one, and they try to copy step by step by step, or kind of little detail by little detail. They try to copy a specific player in a specific stroke, and that is a bad idea. And I need to warn you and everybody else who's tuned in today against doing that, because we're all built very differently. We all have different athletic DNA, and we all have different things that come more naturally than others. And so trying to take a specific player and a specific habit that they have and try to emulate it ourselves usually is a recipe for a disaster. It may end up giving you some benefits, but if you really kind of chase doing it perfectly just like them, that's something that I really, it's probably 1 in a million, possibly literally, that it's going to just be totally perfect for you and exactly the thing that's natural for you. And again, keep in mind that different players, there's certain players that aren't even looking, they don't even have their eyes fixed at contact as they make contact. So is keeping your head still as you make your swing, is that important? Yes, that's a fundamental skill. Is focusing on the point of contact and making sure that you make clean contact, is that a fundamental skill? Yes, it is. You asked like 5 questions here. Is copying each individual little element of how Roger Federer does it, is that fundamental? No, that's not fundamental. And that's kind of a trap that a lot of passionate players like yourself fall for. And I just want to be very clear that you should not try to do that. In the future, it's very possible I'll do an instructional video on how to keep your head still and how to focus on the ball. Those are important things. I'll save that for an on-court video. But for now, I thought it was really important to get across the fundamental versus kind of stylistic elements of technique. So with that, Sandru, thank you very much for your question. I appreciate it. If you've tuned in today and you've listened to my answer, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss out on any future lessons. And also, if you've enjoyed this video, do me a favor and click like on YouTube as well. Leave me any comments or questions down below, and maybe I'll feature yours on a future episode of Ask Ian. Until then, take care and good luck with your tennis.